What if I told you that the new zombie map, The Tomb, and Origins are actually inspired by the exact same real-world location? Whilst taking a closer look at some of the teasers we've gotten so far for The Tomb releasing tomorrow and doing some research for a different video, I discovered what I believe is almost certainly the main inspiration for not only this map, but also Origins from way back in Black Ops 2, which makes sense considering how many connections we got in between these two maps, from the ice staff itself to an area which resembles the mound from Origins, but more importantly for today is the intricate stone rock pattern which first appeared in that map way back in 2013, but has since made a reappearance in the Dark Aether storyline. First seen in Citadel de Mor in the boss fight arena, which heavily resembles the Crazy Place from Origins, which, quick side note, not only are the pillars from the Crazy Place there, but you also have the same circular floor layout and even the lead up walkways to the OG crystal portal entrances from Origins. Not only that, but the gaping hole in the Earth's crust is clearly meant to be an echo of the gateway to Agartha seen in the Crazy Place in Origins. So could it be that perhaps this boss fight arena isn't just meant to resemble, but in all actuality is the same exact location from the Aether storyline, albeit now destroyed due to the events in Dagger Totem, which saw the destruction of the Aether. And even though this is more of a side tangent for today's video, I do think this is an excellent example of how close of a connection these maps bear to one another. But I digress. As for this pattern, you can also see it detailed elsewhere, such as in the stone gateways around the tomb, which appear to resemble not only the MWZ Talisman, which also boasts a similar design and once again also is highly reminiscent of the portal entrances to the Crazy Place from Origins. Okay, so we have this pattern which keeps coming up, but what is it? And why does it keep coming up? That's precisely the exact question I kept asking myself while looking at all these teasers. And then it hit me. Archibald mentions that the site is of Neolithic origin, and obviously we already know that the map is set in France. So I just went over to Google and started searching for Neolithic tombs in France. And lo and behold, after looking around for a bit, I stumbled upon a place called Gavrinus Island, which is located on the southern coast of France, right around where Avalon is supposed to be set actually. On the island itself, there's an ancient Neolithic tomb, thought to be over 5,000 years old. This is actually one of the oldest structures on the planet. Within this tomb, and what in my opinion proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the locational inspiration behind Origins and now the tomb, is that all over the interior is this intricate pattern carved on stones, on tablets, walls, etc. Just like we see in the Origins tomb, aka the interior of the mound, and now in Citadel and the upcoming DLC map, The Tomb. And that's not all. As recently as the Indeterminates, we've seen the reintroduction of Chaos storyline elements such as the Sin Artifact and Prima Materia, and now, with the most two recent maps, Alistair and Archibald directly in radios. The latter of which obviously wasn't a Chaos character, but the excavation he undertook was in 1908, right around when the Chaos story was set. Furthermore, Alistair's radio with Kraft took place in 1913, merely 1 year after Chaos had left off, or quote-unquote ended, in Ancient Evil. All of this making it increasingly likely that Chaos in its entirety is canon to the Dark Aether storyline. And with this in mind, let's now go back to the map 9. An ancient trial in the past with 4 temples devoted to perhaps the quote, forgotten gods of years past. Heading into the Temple of Danu, you'll once again see this same pattern littered all over the place, from the undergrowth of the temple, and even up top, littering most of this walkway around this tree. This example being the closest to directly one-to-one resembling the design seen at Gavrinus Island. Danu is also a Celtic god, and the Celts themselves would later inhabit most of Western Europe, including France, giving credence to the two being an intentional correlation. And whilst Chaos and Aether may have not been originally connected, it most likely is now. And this pattern is perhaps the biggest common through line besides the characters themselves connecting through each of the 3 storylines. Treyarch themselves are no strangers to using real-world locations as direct inspiration for maps, with places like Alcatraz, what now Santorium, Hoffenwerfen Castle, and others having direct analogs in-game. So in my opinion, I certainly don't think this is a stretch at all, especially considering once again both maps have tombs from the ancient past, both are set in southern France, and most damningly of all, both share these same exact patterns. And of course, the tomb and Origins have various little other connections like the Ice Staff mainly. But what do you think? Do you think we got it right? Wrong? Is there anything you think we should have included in the video or otherwise taken into consideration for this topic as a whole? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.